1989, Korean police forced a false confession out of an innocent man. He spent the next 20 years in prison. The real killer wasn't caught until 30 years later, because he was hiding in plain sight the entire time. Between 1986 and 1991, in the quiet farming region of Hwaseong, South Korea, 10 women and girls, aged just 13 to 71, were raped and strangled. Rural roads, rice paddies, and quiet neighborhoods, once safe, became hunting grounds. No community was prepared for what was coming. The killings began in September 1986 and continued for nearly 5 years. Each attack followed a disturbingly similar pattern. Women attacked at night, often during rain, always alone. By 1989, panic had gripped the entire province. Police, under enormous pressure to make an arrest, detained a 22-year-old man named Yoon Sung-yeol in connection with the 8th murder, the killing of a 13-year-old girl. During interrogation, Yoon confessed. Years later, he would reveal that confession was beaten out of him. He was sentenced to life in prison. The killings continued anyway. What followed became one of the largest manhunts in Korean history. Over 2 million man-days of investigation. More than 21,000 suspects questioned. Over 40,000 fingerprints and blood samples collected. And still, nothing. Yoon Sung-yeol remained in prison. He was released on parole in 2009 after 20 years behind bars, but his name was never cleared. The case went cold, so infamous it later inspired the 2003 film Memories of Murder. Then, in September 2019, more than 3 decades after the first killing, South Korea's National Forensic Service re-examined old evidence using DNA technology that simply didn't exist in the 1980s. The DNA matched a man named Lee Chun-jae, who was already in prison, serving a life sentence for a completely different murder. On October 2nd, 2019, Lee Chun-jae confessed. Not to one murder, to 14, including all 10 of the original Hwaseong killings. But because the statute of limitations had expired back in 2006, he could never be legally charged for any of them. In December 2020, a Korean court finally overturned Yoon Sung-yeol's conviction. The judge personally apologized to him. This case is solved, but justice came far too late for the man who paid the price. 10 women and girls lost their lives to a killer who walked free for over 30 years. And one innocent man lost 20 years of his own life paying for a crime he never committed. Both deserve to be remembered, not as footnotes, but as the reason this story still matters. If you want more real cases where the truth finally came out, subscribe. There's more coming.